Hi, my name is Darren, and I love talking about African affairs. Now, today, let's talk about Malawi, where I went through an interview that Joyce Banda had about her candidature, to vie for presidency. Because when it comes to 16th of September, she wants to be on the ballot paper from the party of People's Party to lead the country, very small, tiny country in southern Africa. But here's an interesting thing. She's been a leader of that country before. In fact, she was the president for 2 years between 2012 to 2014. She led that country, and very interesting things happened. She was the first president that I know on the African continent who sold a presidential jet just to cut down her expenditure and even reduced her salary by 30%. She reduced her car, her convoy, from a huge fleet of number to a very small one that she felt, yeah, that's necessary. Otherwise, the big number of cars was not making any sense to her. This is something that very many people welcomed, given the fact that when you come across the African continent, presidents moving a convoy of 20, 15 cars, I think 15 I've really underestimated. They go in really huge fleet of cars. And I don't know what happens in those fleet of cars, but anyway, and most presidents in Africa here, they have to buy a presidential jet. And she said, I don't need a presidential jet. But did those initiatives ever help the economy recover? Did it make any significant impact on the person in Malawi? Well, some of these benefits are not really tangible, but reducing the expenditure of the government can be a reality and can actually work. So I was asking myself as if you were a president in 2012 to 2014, well, 2 years, one would say maybe that was not even enough for her to be able to cause a lot of change. But my question is then, what didn't you do then that you want to do now? Now, when I was reading her interview, this is what happened. She talks about skilling of the youth and women. And when she comes to women, this is where I got a little bit disturbed in my mind, where she was talking about teaching women soft skills such as making soap, sugar processing. And at that moment, I felt, is this what we really need? Now, the truth is that sugar is a consumable product that everyone keeps consuming. At least each of us, in a house, there's always someone who's going to consume sugar. And we all need soap anyway to shower, to wash things, and so on and so forth. Um, but on the other side, one would like to argue and say, is this the new shift of jobs that we were looking forward to? I mean, those could have passed in 2012. But today, in 2025, where people are going for soft skills and the kind of jobs that are coming by, people are using machines to replace the old jobs that we had then. I mean, what kind of opportunities are being put there for the youth to be able to agree and vote for you? A friend of mine, Ntanda, sorry, I mentioned her name because she's not into politics. She prefers to be an entrepreneur who has business in Malawi, opened up NGOs and also companies that are doing digital learning and a couple of things. In fact, she has received a couple of awards as a person who is influencing change in the country in terms of the youths and skilling them to be able to do the jobs that they are supposed to be doing in this year. So the jobs promised by Joyce Banda versus the jobs, the reality of the jobs that are there, the shift in the market today is quite difficult. I mean, think about someone who goes to university to study for all the 4 years, 3 years, given depending on whatever course they are doing, apart from sciences where people are doing medicine. But I'm talking about the students of arts. Will they study from university to come and do jobs such as soap making? I don't know. But maybe that's what Malawians have to do. But the country is also suffering from things like epidemics. There, you've seen the cholera, how cholera has been treating them. The country is likely to face food security. I mean, according to the World Food Program reports that came out the other time, actually early this year, showed that about 6.8 million Malawians are likely to face food scarcity or food security or food insecurity, if you depending on how you want to see the words. But it's a tough place to be as a person who has been a president to come back and see that she wants to reverse the country back on track because she believes that all these things that we've been reading, the corruption that has been eating up the country, the bad economy, the inflation, that all these things can actually change under her. And and not the leaders that are there, because she feels the people who replaced her after have been doing a bad job politically, socially, and economically. So what do you think about Joyce Banda's standing for presidency again? Will she get it? Does her manifesto speak to you? Hi, Malawians. Let's see what will be done in that. I'll see you in the next one.